This video is made as a public service to law enforcement about a dangerous and indefensible threat to your health and safety. The video is set to unlisted, so it is not viewable by the public without the URL link. Law enforcement only. This video is made exclusively for law enforcement information. The link has been sent to the FBI and Homeland Security as well as all my law enforcement organization contacts. The video is not for viewing by the public. If you are not a member of law enforcement and someone sends you this link, or you can see the video posted anywhere on social media, please take a screenshot, the URL information, and report it to police, and call me at 718-440-1080 so I can be notified. Hello, this is Dave from Net4 Truth USA, Inglorious Patriots. It is 1300 hours, July 23rd, 2020, here in Northeast West Bumblefuck, North Carolina. Something just came over my feed that I am very concerned about, and that is that high-powered lasers are being used to attack police, and this is causing permanent eye damage, permanent retinal damage to the officer's eyes. They will never be able to recover their eyesight. I'm here to tell you from experience that those statements are 100% true. I used to be half owner of a company called AwesomeLasers.com. The company went out of business in 2010 because we couldn't get the diodes to build these lasers anymore. We were previously taking 24 of these diodes out of Casio projectors, and each laser would retail for about $800, and we sold them almost exclusively to U.S. military working overseas. The lasers were mounted in solar force flashlight bodies, with the bulb being replaced by a block of brass with the diode stuck in it for a heat sink, and used the same battery, the same everything. And you could take this and put this on a Picatinny rail. I'll show you right there, Picatinny rail on a Barrett Rec 7. And instead of a flashlight like you normally would have on a Picatinny rail, you can see this thing is blinking here. You would have a 2-watt laser, which is orders of magnitude more powerful than a 5-milliwatt laser. A 5-milliwatt laser, a milliwatt is 1,000th of a watt, so 5 milliwatts is 5,000ths of a watt. 2 watts is 2,000 milliwatts. Do the math. There are now lasers available up to 7 watts. This right here is a totally legal 5-milliwatt laser that I've had forever. And although it will not blind you, it will screw up your orientation. And this is effective at about 100 yards. You won't be able to see. If I can hold this thing still, you won't be able to see me. This is what you'll see if somebody points this little tiny 5-milliwatt laser at you at about 100 yards. This is what you'll see. In fact, it'll be worse because the beam will spread out. It'll fill your whole field of view. This 5-milliwatt laser will not totally blind you. Won't. Even if you stuck it right up to them, yeah, maybe it'll hurt your retina. But what they're using is not 5-milliwatt lasers. What they're using is I'm show you what they're using. We cannot tolerate this. There is no protection against a high-powered laser being shined in your eyes. Before the reflex to blink kicks in, the damage is already done. Your retina is already burnt out. 7-watt lasers can light things on fire at 100 yards, properly focused. and the beam is tiny, tiny. The only reason you see it is because it lights up the humidity in the air. You wouldn't be able to see the beam otherwise. A laser in a vacuum is invisible. Even a green one or a red one, doesn't matter. The reason you can see the beam, looking at it at a perpendicular angle, is because the light in the beam is lighting up the molecules of water in the air. Being hit with a 7-watt laser in the eye is devastating. It will blind you permanently. And in the case of blue lasers, and I'll list and I'll show you after I'm talking here where they're getting these from. A blue laser might not blind you immediately. It causes cell degradation in the retina that takes anywhere from 24 hours to a week to kick in. So you get hit with this blue laser, and after a minute your eyes recover and you can see again, but 2 days later you'll need to see an eye dog. There are no goggles on the market, nothing. Don't let anybody tell you any different. I know this from experience. I've worked with these things. There is nothing on the market in the form of goggles, sunglass type goggles, that will protect you from a direct hit with a high powered laser. Nothing. You need goggles just to look at the beam being pointed away from you on these high powered lasers, because if you don't, if you look at that beam or even the spot being shined on the wall, it doesn't seem that intense. And when you're looking at a spot on the wall, the blink reflex doesn't kick in. But those photons hitting your retina will burn it out. Trust me on this. The only way to protect yourself against laser attack is to use video goggles, where you have goggles covering your eyes and your vision is looking at a screen inside the goggles and there's a camera outside. That's the only way. They'll point the laser at the camera. The camera will probably burn out, but your eyes will be safe because the screen inside the goggle cannot put out that intensity of light, even though it's being shined at with a laser. Just a word of caution. I've sent this video to all of my law enforcement contacts. I've sent it to the FBI. I've sent it to whoever I have contact with that's in law enforcement. This is a threat, and these companies have to be shut down. One of them is a Chinese company. And let me tell you something about the lasers on eBay. eBay has long since held a policy, because we sold some of our lasers on eBay until they put the ban on. eBay says more than 5 milliwatts you cannot list. So they don't list them as 5 milliwatts. But you can tell by the price, and you can tell by the way the laser is built, that it is designed to put out way more than 5 milliwatts. And if you think eBay doesn't, and all these other sellers don't know that, you're grossly misinformed. They know this. The money is more important to them. They only do things when they're outed and they get caught. But check this out. These things are dangerous when shown at moving vehicles or aircraft.
Alright, he hit us. He's hitting us with the laser right now, so you guys go ahead and if you're close. Watch one.
Watch one.
I have the subject that's been hit with the laser.
20 hours.
You were covered by the tower freak. What was your comment? No, they're already in on foot. Stand by. I said you're around the building, that forklift's backing up. If you can hear it moving, he's the one driving the... I didn't catch that traffic. Is he running? Signal, hammer. Taser point. K9 have a green laser, something that emits a green laser on them.
This is a photograph of a 1 watt 445 nanometer blue laser in a warehouse in practically broad daylight. You see that you can see the beam very clearly. And this is a photo of the same laser mounted in a Solar Force flashlight and attached to a Barrett Rec 7 rifle on a Picatinny rail. This is the 7WLASER's website, and you can see these in there with all of this COVID-19 bullshit. 400 watts for a 7 watt laser. That's a whole lot better than we did under Awesome Lasers, I'll tell you that. Mass producing these things. Striker series. They got all this kind of stuff. Let me see if I can find a video here of this thing. Let's see if I can find videos here. Product details. If these lasers can light a match after their beams pass through a beam splitter, they can burn out your retina much faster than it took that match to catch fire after it was brought into the beam path. There is no passive eye protection that is available that will protect you from a direct hit with such a device. You must resort to an active device such as night vision goggles, where the camera looks at the environment and you are looking at a display screen. The display screen cannot burn out your retina, but a direct hit with one of these lasers surely will. This is Dave from Net4Truth USA, Inglorious Patriots. Thank you very much for your service, and thank you very much for viewing and passing along this video to your law enforcement associates.